Yes. Welcome to Attaining the Worlds Beyond. Today we are concluding the review of this masterpiece that we started in, it's 22 months ago we started. So this is 2024. Francis remind me. So we started 2023. I lost touch of time, but this is how long we have been reviewing the book. Interestingly, we're going to be looking at Kabbalistic quotes. I thought this was very fascinating. It's open to anyone to look at different quotes. There are 24 quotes in chapter 38. We've learned so many concepts in the last almost 2 years now. So the first quote for me that I think that I really love was the very, very first quote, actually, because that quote talks about humility. And it says the most important aspect of the process of self-improvement is cultivation of one's sense of humility before the Creator. This, however, should not be an artificial undertaking, but a goal of one's effort. If, as a result of working on the self, an individual gradually starts to develop this quality, then it means that he is proceeding in the right direction. The reason I like this quote, because suddenly it summarizes everything for me. Because recently there was something that was going on in my life, and I remembered I thought I was going to meet someone to give me some advice. Then this person said, "No, I'm not the right person to give you this advice." And imagine I told everybody that I'm going to meet this person to give me advice. And now this person told me, "I'm not the right person to give you this advice. I haven't read what you want, but I'm going to signpost you to someone else who can give you this advice." And you can imagine my disappointment initially. Then it's only come back to me that, oh, what did you learn in attaining the worlds beyond? There's none else besides the Creator. Anything that happens is the right thing. Humble yourself. You are going in the right direction. You don't see the full picture. The Creator sees the full picture. Whosoever you are signposted to is the right person. And this is faith in action. But if you could think about it, my ego was trying to get in the way of this whole thing, trying to say, well, hang on a minute, you just wasted your time waiting for this person all this time, telling everybody that you're going to have the meeting today. And now you have to go and tell everyone that you're not having the meeting. Rather than that, you've been signposted somewhere else. So I feel that humility is a very, very powerful spiritual quality, because if we don't have that, we can't even demonstrate faith in the Creator. Tell me what your best pick is.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, we could sit here and indulge in all 34 quotes, but time will not allow us. So shamefully, I have to pick. So my pick is on page 435, the second quote. It said, an individual need not despair when, as he studies and works on improving himself in an effort to attain spiritual elevation, he comes to see himself as being in an even worse condition than prior to studying Kabbalah. The true nature of egoism is revealed to a person whose level is higher than that of others. And for this reason, a person becomes worse in his own eyes, even though he has actually become better. Right? I guess that will ring a bell with all of us, right? Because many times I've come to a point where literally I cry. I just cry. And I tell myself, you are the worst to entertain such a thought, right? Such a dim thought to pop up in your mind at such a time and such a stage. But this is it, right? So as we embark on this path and do the work, and as we ascend the rungs of the ladder, he gives us the opportunity to realize that we have more work to do, and that the real evil is not out there, but rather inside me. And that is fascinating, So it's not like a hanky-dory kind of thing. Yes, there are those moments where we laugh, we say to life to each of us, and we jump up and down. But there's also those moments where one is brought to his knees to realize how low one is. And as he says that even though you experience it as a low moment, it's rather rather in truth, that person is at a higher level on the path than the people around him or the people that in this world. So one has to take consolation from that, because in truth, we come to such moments every now and then, and we experience that in truth.
Yes, it's a beautiful feeling. It's a beautiful, precious feeling to know that even in the search and the scrutiny that you do, and as you explore this elements of yourself that is this evil inclination, that you're still on the path, that you're doing something right by scrutinizing, by just looking at yourself. And I remember in a few lessons previously, I laughed about something about seeing this evil inclination in yourself and how you have to just observe it. And how my friend was saying to me, like, oh, please don't, just love yourself, and just be in a good state. But in actual fact, this journey, it's a very exciting, beautiful journey where you start exploring the inner delvings of your mind, your soul, and you're trying to connect with the Creator. So taking forward from what you've just said, Francis, I think the next quote, two ones under that, is the most important aspect of a person's spiritual progress is a plea for help addressed to the Creator. This plea to the Creator. And to bring it back to, I was speaking to someone close to me yesterday, and they're going through their own journey of darkness and so on. And to know that there's none else besides Him, that you are on a journey in a relationship with the Creator, where the Creator is trying to show you things, and you have to acknowledge that. And it's just so beautiful. And this book, as you said, I think, Sheila, you said this sometime, but I mean, we've touched this book now for one round, right? And yet we know that it would be just the most beautiful thing to go back through the whole process, because you've literally touched just on the little basis of it. Like, there's a whole depth of wisdom to go through still. And each one of these quotes really spoke to me today. I'm just going to choose whatever comes to mind now, looking at one of them, and I'll just say, the most important aspect of a person is his aspirations rather than his achievements, because it is egoism that requires achievements. So no achievements, but your aspirations, your need, your desire, your craving to be close to the Creator, because He wants to speak to you in that way. And that's how you attain the worlds beyond. Oh, here's another one. An individual must imagine that he is alone in the world with the Creator. Wow. Alone in the world with the Creator. The various characters and stories in the Bible signify the different qualities of one person and of all the people, and the different stages of this person's spiritual path. And what we don't realize is that we are on a spiritual path. Each and every one of us on this earth is on a spiritual path towards our recognition of our connection with the Creator, and that we are part of that process. Sheila, back to you.
Yeah, okay. Let's look at another one that's caught my eyes and very close to my heart as well. And it says, a necessary condition for spiritual elevation is the continuous quest for the bond with the Creator. This is almost, to me, it's like you should fall in love with the Creator. If you don't fall in love with the Creator, you have to fall in love with the Creator. you've got to fall in love with the Creator, because if you're not in love with the Creator, I can't see how you could do anything spiritual in this world. You've got to fall in love with the Creator, so much so that people might say, I remember I have a friend and she's single, but then there's a gentleman who came to us, we were talking, and the gentleman said, oh, by the way, are you married? Because one of my friends is looking for someone. And then she turned around and said, yes, I am married. I said, oh, I didn't realize you were married. They said, yes, I'm married to the Creator. I was like, it's true. We should be married to the Creator first. And I think everybody has to be married to the Creator first if they should do relationship properly with each other. Because
Yes,
they all
yeah, you do. I fully agree. And to talk about myself in some way, when I got married, my grandfather, he was supposed to do a 5-minute speech. 5-minute speech. He turned into a 40-minute speech, friends. 40 minutes. But at the end, from his religious perspective, he was saying, at the helm of your boat, you need to have the Creator. And that is so true with regards to any relationship that you have in this world. You have to cover it with love. You have to cover it with the Creator. And therefore, your bond with the Creator, the relationship that you have there is so important because it reflects on all of the other relationships that you
absolutely,
have. Um, and so,
absolutely,
just again about
absolutely,
yesterday, this particular person was like, "Oh, I can't receive because I'm going to feel guilty." And I said, "Well, you have to receive in some way. You have to receive in some way, but then to give that back." And through this book, Attaining the Worlds Beyond, we spoke about, I think it was chapter 3 or 4, where we spoke about, the meal, of going to the meal and having the meal to bring contentment to the Creator. And I think that's a really important point to bring back at the end of this beautiful book, of how you have to bring contentment to the upper force, to the Creator, and be in this prayer state. It sounds religious in some way, but it's not, because you're doing the scrutiny within yourself. Yes.
Yeah, Sheila, let me just do my last and quote so that you take over from there. It says on page 435, the last but one quote, a person must draw strength from the understanding of the purpose of creation, rejoicing in advance in the inevitable reformation of the entire world and the arrival of peace for humanity. Right? Because on this journey, as you're saying,
absolutely,
we come to a point where we need to draw strength. Where do we draw strength from? Besides from you, friends, we also have to be grateful
absolutely,
and see the high privilege that has been done to us, that our hands was placed on the good fortune and we were urged to take it. And that is why we are here. Take over,
absolutely.
Sheila. Mhm.
I know you
Now,
want
when
Sheila
it
to
comes to
take
before
over.
we
Sheila, before you take over, my friend. So beautiful, because it's been enlivened, the fact that we are together. If you sat and you just read this book on your own and you thought it was just yourself doing this journey, something would be amiss. The fact there's such a celebration to be had for people that are on this journey together, this exploration, this relationship with the Creator together, because it has to be together, since we are all kind of interconnected. And this book touches upon the interconnection of all of us as one system towards the Creator. Thank you, Sheila. Please take over.
it's all right, yeah. I wanted to draw attention to page 435 again, where it talks about faith. Faith is the only way to redemption in all qualities. A person can become confused by egoism, but faith is the only basis for a person's ascent to the spiritual realm. And for me, again, it's linked back to the humility side of things, because if I want to use my intellect, I can be absolutely certain. And the more I grow up, the more I know nothing in this world. the more I know that I cannot rely on anything my brain tells me, because this brain was designed for egoistic activities. And if you want to do anything spiritual, you have to walk outside this brain. And this importance of faith is so, it's the tool, it's the master tool. If you were to say, I have to move from one location to another location geographically that I cannot use my feet to go to, and the only way I have to go there is to fly by some kind of instrument to get there, well, faith will be the plane, the aeroplane to take you to spirituality, simply because everything else that is happening, it's the Creator knows all the pictures. We only have a small fragment of the picture which we feel through our egoistic sensation. And if we ever want to go into anything spiritual, we have to learn to be humble, and we always have to remember that humility itself is courageous, because I know we didn't talk about the next chapter, which is chapter 39, which quickly I would just summarize. It's the story of the author's journey to Kabbalah. And we can see how courageous he was. He had a vision to know what the purpose of life is. Eventually found the purpose of life through the study of Kabbalah. But that journey itself was selfless. And the very fact that he had to pull together all these materials to write this wonderful book for us. And you know what I admire about this author more than anything else? And I pray that all of us will become like this author. Not only did he write the book that is in printed version, he put the book in the public domain for free for everyone to read. You see, what is contained in Attaining the Worlds Beyond is what humanity is looking for, but they go off in different directions. People pay thousands and thousands of pounds in personal development, and they do not know that all of what they're looking for, the truth of what personal development is, lies in this book called Attaining the Worlds Beyond. And not only that, it is for free in the public domain, but yet people are not taking it because they don't know about it. That's the reason why we review the book and we have the videos for you to know about it. Delis, want to say something?
Here's the thing. There's one statement on that chapter which speaks of, I'm not going to read it now, but it says, the worst characteristic of the ego is arrogance as such. So often I would find that, for instance, if you show this book to someone, the initial response might be, oh, this is not for me. I know it all. And that is the ego's response. I don't need to know this. And when you have that kind of resistance coming up, check that resistance, because it is that will to receive that really wants it for itself and not for the Creator. And so it wants you to not read the book and to say, oh, it's nothing. And yet it is absolutely the core of where we need to go.
Absolutely. And on that note, it's been a brilliant journey. So in 2025, we're going to come back with Attaining the Worlds Beyond, but we're looking into how we're going to do it in a very interactive manner. So if you don't see us before Christmas, we are going to wish you a wonderful Christmas. For those of you who do not celebrate Christmas, you celebrate Hanukkah. We are wishing you a wonderful Hanukkah, and we shall meet again in 2025. Thank you very much for watching.
So nice.
Happy
Blessings to you all.
Christmas.